Good day, students. Welcome to JSS 2 English Language, Week 3. Today we tackle one of the most challenging skills in English language examinations, answering inferential comprehension questions. In JSS 1 you learned how to answer literal questions, questions where the answer is directly stated in the passage. Inferential questions are different and harder, the answer is not directly stated. You must read between the lines, use clues in the passage to deduce an answer that is implied but not written out. This skill, inference, is tested heavily at BECE, WAEC, and NECO. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to distinguish between literal and inferential questions, explain what inference means, apply a four-step inference strategy, answer inferential questions accurately and in full, and avoid the most common inferential reading errors. Let us read deeply. Let us begin with clear definitions. A literal question asks about information that is directly and explicitly stated in the passage. To answer, you find the relevant sentence and quote or paraphrase it. Literal questions often begin with, according to the passage. The writer states that. What does the writer say about? An inferential question asks about information that is not directly stated but can be deduced from the evidence in the passage. To answer, you must combine clues from the text with your own reasoning. Inferential questions often begin with, what can you infer from? What does the writer imply about? Why do you think? What is the writer's attitude toward? What does the writer suggest? Inference is the skill of drawing logical conclusions from evidence. We use inference constantly in daily life. If you arrive home and find the floor wet and an empty bucket overturned, you infer that water was spilled, even though no one told you that directly. In reading, you do the same thing, you use clues in the text to deduce what the writer implies. A key principle, a good inference is supported by evidence from the text. You cannot infer whatever you like, your inference must be reasonable given the evidence. Random guesses are not inferences. The four-step inference strategy. Step 1. Read the passage carefully. Do not skim. Read every sentence at least twice. Pay attention to word choice. Why did the writer choose this word and not that word? Tone, and is the writer angry, sad, admiring, ironic, what the characters do as well as what they say, what is described in detail versus what is glossed over quickly. Step 2. Identify the question type. Determine whether the question is asking for a character's emotion or motivation. Why did Ngozi refuse to speak? The writer's attitude or tone. What is the writer's feeling about Lagos traffic? A logical consequence. What would likely happen next? An implied fact. What do we understand about Choku's background from this passage? Step 3. Locate the relevant clues in the passage. Highlight or mentally note the sentences, phrases, or words that relate to the question. Often the clues are scattered across the passage. Look widely, not just in one spot. Step 4. Construct your inference. Combine the clues you found with logical reasoning to form a conclusion. Then express this in a complete sentence that states the inference clearly, refers to the evidence. This is suggested by the writer's description of types of inferential questions at JSS/BECE level. Type A. Vocabulary in context. What does the word ______ mean as used in paragraph 3? This seems like a vocabulary question, but it is actually inferential. The word may have multiple meanings and you must use context clues to determine which meaning fits. Type B. Character motivation. Why did Emeka decide to leave the village? The passage may not say Emeka left because, you must read his actions and dialogue and infer his reason. Type C. Writer's tone/attitude. How does the writer feel about the development of Lagos? You must infer this from the language choices. Enthusiastic vocabulary suggests a positive attitude, critical or sorrowful language suggests negativity. Type D. Implied information. From the passage, what can we understand about the family's financial situation? The passage may not say the family was poor, but descriptions of warm clothing, limited food, or worry about school fees all imply it. Type E, prediction/consequence. What do you think will happen to the narrator if he returns to the city? Answered by combining events in the passage with logical reasoning. Let us read a short passage and practice. Passage: Adis counted her money for the third time. Still the same. She put the coins back into the tin and sat for a long time looking at the form on the table, the scholarship form with its cheerful orange cover and its list of required documents. Finally, she folded it carefully and placed it in the drawer. When her mother called her for dinner, she came to the table and ate slowly and said nothing. Literal question: what was on the table? Answer from text: a scholarship form with an orange cover. Inferential question: what does the passage suggest about Adi's financial situation and her feelings about the scholarship? This answer is not in the text, you must infer it. Inference: the passage suggests that Adis cannot afford to apply for the scholarship. She counts money 3 times, suggesting she hopes to find more but does not. Placing the form in the drawer instead of completing it implies she has given up. Her silence at dinner suggests sadness or disappointment. The word carefully when she folds the form implies she still values the opportunity even if she cannot pursue it, suggesting a combination of grief and resignation. Using the same Adis passage, answer this inferential question in full. Question: what does the writer suggest about Adis' character? Mother answer: the writer suggests that Adis is determined and caring about her future, as shown by her counting the money 3 times, unwilling to accept that she cannot achieve a goal. However, she is also realistic. She ultimately places the form in the drawer rather than pursuing an application she cannot fund. Her care in folding the form shows she respects the opportunity even while surrendering it. Her silence at dinner suggests emotional maturity. She does not burden her mother with her disappointment. Overall, the writer portrays Adis as a sensitive, intelligent young person facing real economic hardship with quiet dignity. Note: this answer is specific, evidence-based, and goes beyond simply saying Adis is sad. That is how to earn full marks on inferential questions. For inferential reading mistakes. Mistake 1. Answering with your own opinions rather than text evidence. Your inference must be grounded in the passage, not in your personal beliefs. Mistake 2. Giving a one-word or one-phrase answer. Inferential questions require explanation and evidence. Always write incomplete sentences. Mistake 3. Misidentifying the tone. Writers are often ironic or subtle. If the writer uses extravagant praise for something obviously terrible, they are being sarcastic. This is a negative attitude, not a positive one. Mistake 4. Missing vocabulary in context. Always read the full sentence around the word before deciding its contextual meaning. Well done today. Literal questions. Answer directly from the text. Inferential questions. The answer is not in the text, you must deduce it from clues. The 4 steps: read carefully, identify question type, locate clues in the passage, construct your inference with evidence. Types of inferential questions: vocabulary in context, character motivation, writer's tone/attitude, implied information, prediction/consequence. Always write in full sentences, cite evidence from the text, and go beyond surface observations to deeper reasoning. For homework, read any newspaper article or story passage and write 2 inferential questions about it. Then write model answers using the 4-step strategy.